Call to action, the ultimate podcast.
In case you want to film that dead air until you hear your other podcast.
This call is being recorded.
What is so funny? You just got on the phone and you're laughing.
Because I was just listening to episode 2, a fly in the wall type of thing.
Yeah.
I can't believe we're still doing this. Why are we still doing this?
Well, I think you're just revealing the answer right now. It's because you and I are getting a kick out of it anyway. I don't know about anybody else.
It's like selfish, but if you're listening to this, I guess we are serving a purpose. We are serving a purpose.
Yes, yeah. I mean, how many times can you really listen to that, to that new Taylor Swift song on the radio?
The one that goes, look what you made me do, look what you made me do, look what you made me do. Is that the one?
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
that sounds
we're providing options for people.
That song, it has like the same tune as the I'm too sexy for my shirt, too sexy for my shirt, so sexy it hurts.
Right, said Fred.
So I heard the outro. You're
supposed to not say anything, and then that way people forget about what we talked about it on the last episode, and then like they're just listening, and then at the end they just hear it, and then they'll probably bust up. But now you just ruined everything, Carlos. You just ruined it.
It's just I just don't mind. It's kind of like we're documenting this whole process of creating a podcast and just letting everyone know how it's all going. Like it's cool, I guess.
I was thinking about that right before you called. I was like, all right, so this is our 5th recording, episode 4, and we needed 5. I was just looking at our software there on Spreaker.com. Not an affiliate, but that's what we're using. I was on Spreaker.com, and you should see, Carlos, you should see if we get affiliate link. That way, if somebody joins up, we can get 2% of the $5 that they spend.
It's cool. It's cool.
Every couple pennies counts.
So this is it. So after this episode uploads, we can be officially on iHeart Radio.
Yeah, that was the deal. I was like, all right, let's syndicate this thing, figure out what we got to do, and I'm on there pushing buttons like a crazy toddler, and I was like, yeah. Upload, syndicate, do the things. And it was like, whoa, hold on. You need 5 episodes to upload to iHeartRadio. I was like, all right, well, that's it. That's a good mile marker. 5 into this.
Well, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for helping me stick through with this whole thing. And and if it wasn't for you, I don't think we'd be recording episode 5. But this is a milestone. I think
don't get it mixed. Don't get it mixed up. This is not episode 5. This is episode 4. It's just our 5th recording.
That's right. That's right.
Episode
Man,
4.
We're like making every mistake when it comes to branding, positioning, the quality of sound. I mean, everything we're doing is like, it's wrong, right? It's wrong. Like, we're doing everything the wrong way. And we are just doing everything on the fly. We're just going with it. Yeah. And that's I guess that's our calls to action for today. Done is better than perfect, right? Is better than perfect. This is a perfect example. If it wasn't for the fact that all we're doing is calling Uber Conference, and then Uber Conference automatically sends a recording. If it wasn't for that, like setting up a whole thing, getting the whole studio equipment, that's just a turnoff. Like, dude, I got things to do.
Yeah. I mean, and kudos for anybody who can do all that and get it done. but it just, you don't have to. That's what we're saying. You don't have to go that route. Don't let it stop you.
It's fun. You can do it in the car. You could do it
Yeah.
in the office. You could do it at the beach. You could do it while you're putting up a Christmas tree.
Do it when you want to do it.
But you know what? I am going to do another podcast. I'm gonna and I told you yesterday that I don't want you to. I didn't want you to feel like I was cheating on you, because I want to do a podcast by myself. Well, not by myself, but like I want to do it specifically so I can position myself as an authority, so that way people see that I actually know what the heck I'm talking about. It's like this podcast is what you call enterPAINment. Is that what it was?
enterPAINment. That's right. Because no, not enterPAINment. enterPAINment.
Oh, enterPAINment.
Because it's kind of entertaining. It's a little bit painful, but it's not at all educational. So
it's got to be educational.
Or
inspirational.
It's
inspirational
to educate a little bit more, and so you wanted to come out with something else. I'm not fulfilling all of your needs, Carlos. I think that's what I hear you say.
You're not. So you said we had an open polygamous podcasting relationship. I can see other podcasts.
Yeah, you can see other podcasts. Podcast polygamy. Right. We could even start a podcast network. Let's call it Podcast Polygamy Group.
iHeart Podcast. I used to work for iHeart, right? iHeart Radio, and it's. Did you tell them at the door that I used to work for iHeart?
I didn't, and they're putting these limitations. They know who they're talking to. I mean, do you get?
Kudos to you for not name dropping, but I think it would have called for it.
But so, I don't know if you would get former employee benefits. I don't know if it works that way.
I don't even think the people at iHeart know who the heck I am, because I was at the Miami level, and corporate just doesn't care about people.
And it doesn't even matter, because we're doing the 5th recording now, so we got this in the bag. We'll jump through the little hoops.
We're meeting the requirements. So all right. So we're going to be on iHeartRadio. We're going to be on the YouTubes, which we already are on the YouTubes. Yeah. We're on the Spreaker. What's it take to get on iTunes and Stitcher? Now, what's the other one? SoundCloud?
I did a poll in the group, in the Funnel Architects group. I was like, what do you listen to podcasts on? And there was a couple on there I never even heard of before. So we've got to just make sure that we're syndicating everywhere we can, and try to automate it, of course, as much as we possibly can. Spreaker is going to automate iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, YouTube. What was that one? The orange one, SoundCloud.
Yeah, I'm on it right now.
Yeah, so those will happen automatically.
Oh,
we
hey,
got to figure out.
We are on SoundCloud.
SoundCloud. Yeah.
Yeah, we are. I guess I linked it with my Spreaker.
Yeah, I saw that.
Well, what do you freaking know? So we're like legit, dude.
Well, almost. We're not. I think legitimacy comes on when you get onto the iTunes, onto the podcast app.
What about Spotify?
Oh, yes. It doesn't have an automatic thing in our Spreaker account, but we got to get on Spotify. I listen to Spotify all the time.
Yeah, but I can't listen to it in double speed, so I don't do it on Spotify.
Yeah, well, it's easy. It makes it easy for people, You can get Spotify on no matter what kind of phone and on your desktop and whatever. And you can make your own little playlist of podcasts you could do. Yeah, I think it's a good one to have in there. I mean, they've got a lot of listeners on that. When you do that one. So I was thinking 5 episodes or 5 recordings, I guess. And good milestone. I'm wondering if we break this up into seasons. And this is, once we get it all out onto, maybe even do another episode after it's all launched and everything. But this season is season 1, the launch. and then we just we just have it out there. Finally, and by the end of the season, we've got it all syndicated. We've got the website up and everything. Because as of right now, we don't yet.
I mean, I think it's a cool idea. That way, if you really want, so like when we actually clean this whole thing up, we'll warn people about season 1. Say if you haven't heard season 1, we really didn't know what the heck we were doing. Like we don't know what we're doing now, but we really didn't know what we were doing then.
Disclaimer: before listening to season 1, please read this disclaimer.
Yeah.
But,
so.
Yeah, I mean, it could help because I'm thinking for different seasons. I mean, we might even switch out formats sometimes. Like we might even we haven't scheduled any of this or talked about any of this. Of course, we wouldn't talk about it without the listeners. The 2 listeners. We wouldn't talk about it without them. But we're thinking maybe we want to interview some people. Maybe.
Yeah. You know what? This is another call to action. If you're listening and you want to be on this show, let us know. and we don't know why you'd be on a show, but we'll figure it out. And we'll just make it work. And this would be a great platform to launch your feeling career.
Yeah.
You know,
in front of a whole new audience of 2,
I saw a question.
Maybe 3. Yeah.
I saw a question here. Wait. So does it? Oh, I'm not paying for the other podcast speaker package. I'm just paying for the $6 package a month. So that one doesn't give us the data of how many downloads we're getting per platform. So I'm just gonna assume we're in the hundreds of thousands. I don't want to know how many people are downloading.
Don't want to know. Not yet.
Not yet. I don't want to know. But I'm assuming that we have a crowd. We have a crowd of people just pressing refresh every time they go to our podcast page. Wait, so what is our release? I just like a little choke there. How do we release? What are we releasing? How often are we releasing? Because at this rate, we're gonna have 30 episodes. There's a day we did 2 episodes in one day.
Well, yeah, and it's cool though because I think we're gonna have to schedule some out because there's gonna be some days where we're just not able to have a call.
Why not?
And there's there's holidays. There's
but not doing anything on a holiday.
Yeah, family, kids, all that,
Dude, I'm not all day with the family. I really am not. I'll be downstairs watching TV and they'll be upstairs playing Xbox.
Like Sunday's pretty busy. I could probably do a call Sunday night sometime, but
we can't just schedule it. We just got to be like, hey, you want to record a podcast? Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
So
it's pretty frequent. It's pretty frequent right now. I mean, I think it'll probably work. And if we don't show up one day and you turn on your favorite podcasting app and you're like, all right, I want to see what Chris and Carlos got next, and there's nothing, and you feel that emotionally, then if you have feelings about that, we might be onto something here.
What are these idiots gonna say next? That's what they're gonna be thinking. I gotta hear what they're gonna say next. Oh my god. So this is a perfect example of how not to run a podcast show because we are starting with full steam. We don't know how long this steam is going to last, and just like every project that I start, I get all excited. I start doing everything all in one shot, and then all of a sudden on day 2, I'm like, forget that was the dumbest idea I've ever had in my life. But we're going strong now. 4 days, right?
But see, we set our expectations low from the beginning, so it's fine. I mean, yeah, we were recording often, but really, we were like, look, this is just filler content you listen to between other shows. Don't get your hopes up. There's no real value being added here. There's no education.
Yeah,
So
we're here to just
there's
entertain you
there's no pressure.
painfully.
No pressure.
Entertain you painfully. That's really the gist of it. Like, this is what Chris and I do basically almost every day. Like, I'll randomly call him and I'll be like, "Hello, Christopher," just like that. "Hello, Christopher." He'll say, "Hello, Carlos," and then I just go right into some rant or something. And that's what basically this show is all about. And the good thing is that we can say whatever the heck we want. I just know I got to be careful because maybe I'll have a client listening, or maybe I'll have someone that, like my wife, listening, and I don't want to be held accountable for certain things. Wife.
Right, and I'm not editing it either. It's
Yeah.
going to be all out there on the table, raw.
Yep. Raw. So I'm at the office today. I come in early.
So I work from home, just so listeners know. I'm in the comfort of my own home in my kitchen. I got a little office about the size of a closet. I don't stay in there much. You don't like working from your house. You can,
Not
but
anymore.
you don't want to.
It got lonely,
Yeah.
man. It's lonely. I was working from home and I was with my cat, my dog, and I had videos of the cat. Remember Phoebe, the Phoebe Chronicles? And it just got old. I mean, it gets old because you get lonely, you start doubting yourself, you start feeling like you're not progressing. It's like, damn, I'm doing the same stuff. And even if you're making money, it just doesn't feel like you're progressing. But when you're around people, it really just makes you feel like you actually know what the heck you're doing. No, but I don't want to work for somebody. I want people to be my clients. Like, I'm not ready to work for anyone. And the only illusion that I have about working for someone is because I already have my business on the side generating some good cash flow without me working it, and I'm just working somewhere just to learn something new and for fun.
Oh, you mean if you were to get an employer?
Yeah, it sucks. It just sounds, I talk all this smack. I guess, one day I may have to, who knows? Maybe I won't be able to succeed and stay doing this thing on my own, but I don't like the idea of having to work for someone, man. I really don't know. I don't like the idea I have to go drive somewhere to work for someone else that's come up with some idea that's working, and I know that I can come up with a better way to do it anyways, and he's making he or she is making 50 times more than I am.
Right.
I can't fathom the idea.
You're making them the money. I work from home, and I work for somebody else at the moment. I've had working for other people all along the way. Sometimes I'm in between those things and also have clients and side projects and all that. But I'm working for somebody. I'm still at home. I don't have to drive in anywhere, so that's cool. And actually, I enjoy it.
Telecommute.
It's great. I just walk out to my kitchen, get a coffee, and then walk into the office. And I'm
set off a bomb.
Everybody.
With your cat. Oh, you don't have a cat, right?
I don't have no cat. I'm allergic.
What I also didn't like about working from home is that when my wife came home and saw that the dishes weren't washed, she asked me, "Why haven't the dishes been washed?" And I'm like, "Because I was working."
Get to the bottom. Now we get to the bottom of it.
My wife thinks that I'm just home. Anyone who thinks I'm working home thinks I'm not doing anything. Because, like, man, I can't work from home. I don't think anything's done. Shut up.
Yeah.
It takes discipline to work from home. That's for sure.
Well, let's not get into that subject, shall we? I'm working on it. I'm drinking my second cup of discipline juice right now.
So Mrs. or Mr. Employer of Christopher Goodrow, understand that Christopher does work. He's just still trying to figure out his routine.
I got a pretty good routine. I got a good routine. I get up and do the whole family thing with getting the kids off to school. I drop them off and all that. I come back here. My wife takes off to work and get on Slack. Look at my messages, check my email, all that kind of stuff. Start making a little list here in a notebook of things that I got to do today. I actually have a running list. People are like, oh, just write the 3 things that you have to do today. I have a running list, which is like this paper. I keep flipping pages. I'm like, all right, every time something else that I have to do pops into my head, I just write it on that list. And whenever I start to fade and get distracted, and oh yeah, let's look at the list. Oh, that thing, I can do that right now. So I mean, it's not the most perfect system. I'm working on it, but yeah.
Nice.
I'm getting some things done.
Well, I have a
me out.
surprise. I have a surprise for you, Christopher.
For me?
Yeah, for you. Well, because I have
For
a
my
workplace.
birthday?
Wait, is today your birthday?
No, it's coming up.
You're a Sagittarius, right?
I'm a Capricorn.
Oh, that explains it. Okay. Never mind. So the surprise is, yeah, sure, it's for your birthday. So I work here it's a co-working space. I couldn't work from home because I'm tired of washing dishes, even if I have a dishwasher. And I decided that I teamed up with this place called BizNest out here, plug for my peoples in Coral Gables.
BizNest?
And BizNest, B-I-Z, Nest. And it's a cool spot. It's like
Ludacris is just blaring in my ears right now. Stay the up out my business. My business.
Really, that's what you got. That's what you got out of this whole thing.
Continue. I'm easily distracted. Just go ahead. So you're at the BizNest.
Sorry, dude. I didn't hear anything you said, but where was I?
You're working at the BizNest. You got a big.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I'm sorry. I didn't tune you out. It's because I muted the mouthpiece, and my surprise is coming. So, anyways, I'm here at the workspace here, and we have a share working spaces. We work with multiple people. So other digital marketers come here, other accountants, other people with their businesses work here. So I have like a little cubicle with a window view of Coral Gables, which is beautiful. And coming to our conference call is Fernando Gomez, another funnel geek that we frequent in the group. And I told him to join in. So we're going to have our first interview on episode 5.
Right now?
Yeah, right now.
Really?
He's just right now getting the Wi-Fi password to jump on the Wi-Fi. So that way he can jump on our call. And we're going to interview him. I don't know what we're going to interview him about. I don't know what he thinks he's going to get into. But I don't even think he knows we're recording a podcast.
Holy smokes. We didn't even have to wait for the second. Okay, this will just be a taste. It's a tester. See how we're going to do when we launch the second season. And again, remember that call to action. If you're listening, we want to interview you too. But whatever happens here, don't let it discourage you. Don't let it scare you into not getting an interview. We're learning. We're learning as we go. And so any feedback you have, we're open to it. I'm excited.
Yeah, man. So I'm excited myself too. I don't know if he's fun to talk to when it's by himself, but the fact that he knows it's going to be recorded, I don't know if he's going to act all weird or anything, but he's running around looking for the Wi-Fi password and he can't figure out how to plug the laptop in. Are you jumping on this? Yeah, I know how to get the Wi-Fi. So now, yeah, you hear him in the background? Did you hear him in the back?
I did. Why you got to go through all that? Just sit him next to you. What's the big deal?
Oh, because this is not a real studio. I don't have a mic or anything. He's just gotta. And I'm not gonna share my headset with him because it's kind of weird. Because then I can't hear what you're saying. And
this is how most interviews, most conference calls start. Don't you think? There's about 20 minutes of let me find my headset.
Yeah,
I'm having a computer problem.
It's funny though. He just came in here all chilling, excited to see me, and I tell him, "Get on the freaking podcast. Shut your mouth. Get on the podcast. We'll talk to you here." So he's running around. He didn't come here to be all stressed. He's already stressing out the moment he gets here. Oh man. Well, anyway, while we're waiting for our esteemed guest.
Yes. While we're waiting.
While we're waiting. Right? I saw somebody ask a question So you're considered employed, right, Chris?
Absolutely.
And then
Well,
partial
yeah,
partial entrepreneur. What are you?
It's 1099. So it's like I'm a business. I'm reporting taxes and all that. I got an LLC. Yes, I still do all that. But yeah, pretty much I have a position where I'm a marketing manager. So I'm managing a team of funnel builders and writers and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. But yeah, I do that. I do that primarily.
So you're not an entrepreneur. You're self-employed. Is that what that is? Or how do we define this?
I don't, it's gray. I don't know about all these titles being thrown around. I have other projects. Like I've got the Funnel Architects group, which also has a paid pro group. So there's that. So I got like a tiny trickle of income coming in from that, and I'm always working on that, trying to grow that as well. Once in a while, I'll have a client, and you'll help me out and do all the work for it.
I end up paying my team to help me out so I could get you paid. Nothing. Gotcha.
That's why I appreciate it.
That's why their next venture is going to be 5149, Christopher. 5149. All right.
Yeah.
I earned that 2%. That's cool. I looked up on the Google, and I found the difference. You ready? You ready to hear the definition?
Of what? Of entrepreneur.
Self-employed versus small business owner.
All right. What's the source?
Hey, are you talking to me? Talk to my receptionist, please. Thanks. Oh, wait.
Hello. Microphone check.
Hello.
Okay.
Hey, Christopher, how are you?
Wait, Fernando, wait. You gotta let me introduce you.
Sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen. Oh, wait. You need to freaking You gotta get away from me because I can hear myself through your microphone.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Man, I tell you what, dude. This is the worst interview.
I'm going in timeout.
Ladies and gentlemen, I already kicked him out of the studio. So, ladies and gentlemen,
bye. See you later. Yeah.
First of all, this is everything you're doing. Everything we're doing exactly how not to run a podcast. Okay, and with me in the other side of the room, I have Fernando Gomez, also known as Spargo. He'll tell you the story behind Spargo. And he had no idea he was going to be jumping on a podcast with Christopher and I. But he's also a digital marketing geek that has a lot of experience doing digital marketing. He's made a lot of money for other people, and he's just, making enough money to live, just like every one of us here. So others have had a ton of success, and we barely get the chump change at the bottom. So I want to introduce to you Fernando Gomez, which is my sidekick, my leader, my homie, my boy in Miami.
Brother from another mother.
That's right. That's right. He's a big guy too, so he'd probably destroy my mom if he was.
All right.
Welcome, Fernando.
Welcome. I'm not sure if this is a digital marketing podcast or.
We're not sure either.
That's all right.
We're working through it. Yeah, I feel like a third wheel here. So you guys are all shacked up there in the BizNest daily.
Well, yeah. Well, not daily. I just came by to see Carlos, so it was good connecting with like-minded people. And as life happens, he's like, "Hey, you want to jump on a podcast?" And I'm like, "Sure, why not?" And here we are.
You're our first guest ever.
It's an honor. It's an honor to be on this podcast. I've been trying to get on this podcast for a while.
Yeah, the past 5 minutes because he needs the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, we heard you trying. You were trying really hard.
No, I had to run up and down. It was worth it though. It's worth it now that I'm finally here with you great gentlemen.
Yeah, man. This is also going to be a game changer for you, Fernando. For the amount, the 3 people that are going to listen to the show, excluding us, 3 more people.
I'm going to tell my mom about this.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well, yeah.
Let me explain to you. I'm going to try my best to explain to you what this show is all about. So this show, it's called Calls to Action. It's a filler show you listen to while you're waiting for that other show to release their next episode.
I know. I saw the pitch. I'm part of Christopher's group. I follow Carlos.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a big fan.
Yeah, I seen.
By the way.
Wow.
I seen you in there.
So you're a
I seen you
lurker.
in Funnel Architects. Saying
Yeah, I'm
hello.
in architects. I'm a big fan
Yep.
of the group and the value there. I am a serious lurker. But today I come out of my cave and
Yeah.
pay my dues.
Quite
And so
surprised.
I saw the show and I'm excited to be here. So it's a call to actions. Love it.
No,
you took
calls,
action.
calls to
You took
action.
and that's
Calls. I'm sorry.
that is
Multiple calls.
that is a great way to lead by example. The way you just saw an opportunity and took the action right then and there.
Yeah,
You
man.
got it.
We're looking for
You
action.
got it.
Looking for
Exactly.
action takers on this show.
So the reason why
I'll
we
tell
have
you,
you on
I
the
didn't-
show. Oh,
You
see-
have a reason?
yeah, the reason we had him on the show is because we but you know what? I'm gonna let Christopher take it away. Go ahead, Christopher.
Well, I was just going to say, you mentioned Spargo. I don't know what that's all about. I think the listeners too are probably excited to hear that story. What are you on about there?
All right. So I branded myself as Spartan Gomez ever since I figured out the internet. I used to play video games online. And so when you play video games online, nobody's going to go in there as Fernando Gomez, right? So Spartan Gomez was my online nickname. But where that came from was in high school. I went to Southridge High School here in Miami, and our mascot was the Spartans. And I was really big into high school team spirit. I was in the wrestling team. And then I watched the movie 300, and I felt like I belonged in that movie for a second. And then then I realized I wasn't nearly in shape to be in there. But no, long story short is I really like and subscribe to the philosophy and the history of the Spartans and that whole mentality of never giving up, no matter the odds. Always, even if you're the underdog, fight. And so I took that Spartan and I embodied that. And then, I threw in my last name, Spargo, Spartan Gomez. It's all a variation of the Spartan. And so, in life and in business and in everything I do, I try to carry that philosophy of the Spartans. And so that's kind of how the name Spartan Gomez came from. High school, learning about the Spartans, and then adopting that lifestyle, or trying to, right? I'm not spearing anybody to death. But
okay, that's good, Carlos. I was starting to worry about your proximity to this guy over there. I didn't want there to be bloodshed.
Well, when he says the word spearing doesn't mean what you think it means.
Oh my God.
Every episode, I've got to remind Carlos that we're keeping this clean. For every episode.
Yeah.
But I am keeping it clean. I am keeping it clean. I just made an accent and I said spearing. Spearing.
You were bordering PG-13 right there.
So I like I like the
rules.
story how you're embodying this whole Spartan thing. It's kind of like how you accepted this challenge. We just threw you into the ring right now. Just
Exactly.
threw you into and so you come in, blazing and ready to go.
That's right. No, yeah, and I learned that too in life, and I'm sure everybody here has similar experiences. Is that in this industry and just in life in general, you get met with a lot of challenges, right? Like clients come down last minute asking for X, Y, and Z, or they call you like at 10 in the evening, and there's two responses to that, right? There's like ignore it and kind of like shy away from it. I don't want to deal with it, and then there's the rise up and challenge it kind of part, right? And so I always try to do the rise up and challenge, right? Like, so just to give you an example, like in the past, I've had clients who call me like at 10 p.m., 1 a.m. And the easiest way would be to ignore it and be like, dude, I'm not dealing with these people. Like, what the hell is wrong with them? What's wrong with them? Why are they calling me? And then however, the best solution is always the hardest solution. And so I would just rise up and say, guys, you cannot call me at 1 a.m. I don't operate like this. This isn't a good way to do business. And that whole story is just to kind of illustrate how rising up to the challenge is always, I think, in my opinion, the best answer rather than the easy answer, which is to ignore the challenge. Rise up to it, defeat it, get your butt kicked. Either way, you're going to learn something by taking that challenge head on, whether it's a pain in the butt client or a no-volume project. Kind of like this.
Chris, yeah, like this podcast. Chris is very much that pain in the ass client because there's a lot of there's a lot of work that he ends up getting from clients, and he ends up coming to me at 1 o'clock in the morning talking about, hey, dude, can you help me with this?
Nah, for you guys, I'll answer that one.
We're playing StarCraft at 1,
I
Fernando.
had to message you at that time. I know that you're going to be up at like 4 a.m. and you could solve all my problems by the time I wake up.
I wake up at 4 in the morning. This guy has he has a scheduled like message sending out at 4 a.m. I guess he programs it at 1 because he don't go to bed until later, and then he sends me a message like, "How do you create a Cloudflare account?" You know, I do things like this. I'm like,
oh man.
Well,
Chris knows all of these answers, but he just doesn't want to trust in himself. He just doesn't want to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
remember we're working in a
about
co-working space.
answering the call and rising to the challenge. Answering the call, rising to the challenge. Being a Spartan, right? And so we talked about this a couple episodes ago, right, Carlos? When we talked a little bit about setting client expectations. So if they expect to call me at that hour, they should expect some repercussions, I think.
No, yeah, like more like a higher hourly charge for that specific hour.
Something, yeah, like that. And yeah, it gets tricky when they expect you to do work. We went over that. Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, yeah,
that's right. There's times I've had to pull so there's not you, Chris. You're still cool. But there's this one client colleague hybrid that he white labels my services to his clients, and then he had me do it like 3 months ago or something like that, and then 3 months later he's talking about, hey, something is broken, and our client's really upset right now because they're not generating the leads or whatever, and I'm here thinking, well, that sucks. You should probably fix it because. But then he tried to be slick and tell me it was something that I built. But I'm like, I get it, but that was 3 months ago. There's so many things could have happened after that I can't be responsible. So he told me, so let me get this straight, like this attitude. Let me get this straight. You want me to pay you for something you've already built and it's not working? And I'm like, wow, this guy, like, he works in the space. He understands what the heck is this is all about. The client could have messed something up. The software is could have messed up, whatever. But he has 7 days to review all my stuff. After that, I consider it good to go. But 3 months, come on. So
I mean, it was probably working. It was probably working when you did it, and he's got to sign off on that. I mean, it's not like you're providing continual customer support for anything that happens.
I can't. It's even a car, right? If the car, just because the car stops working, doesn't mean that the freaking manufacturer is going to give you another one or fix it just because it stops working. You got to maintain it and fix it up. So
I did have a dealership one time sell me a car, used car. I still have it, and then I get home and the tire pressure thing comes on. Like the low pressure. And I filled it up. But then it kept happening. And I had to go back to the dealership, like, look, you just sold me a car. Like, I just gave you, like, all my money, basically, to get this car. And you gave me a car with a hole in the tire? Come on. Like, make it right. Fix it up. So, I mean, there are instances like that. Like, I didn't give it a 20-point inspection. But I did go back fairly quickly. I didn't wait. Like, sounds like this guy
3 months. 3 months.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So he did get upset with me, and but I had to stand my ground because like it was an easy fix. I mean, actually no, not that it was an easy fix. It's just that I didn't want to look into it unless I knew he was going to pay me. It could have been an easy fix, but I did it once already with him, and he came to me again with a second problem for a different client. So I had to stop the behavior, and I had to stop him and say, hey, you know what? Not a problem. I recommend we buy the 4 block hours up front. That way we can cover this and whatever else comes up after that. So I kind of gave him like a nice, I gave him a free service up front to help him with something that I was able to fix it quickly. But then I saw the pattern getting worse, and I've experienced people doing these things often. I don't know if it's that they know they're abusing, but I think that they're just going to try to see what they can get away with, and you kind of just have to just put your pants on and be like, hey, not a problem. I'm going to crush this out. What I recommend is buy block hours up front. That way I can cover this and whatever. And then that stops them. So that's how I get to manage expectations when it comes to people sending me this stuff. And I always tell them, give me 1 to 2 business days. And I don't say 1 to 2 days anymore. I say 1 to 2 business days, because Saturday and Sunday I'm not working, and holidays.
Yeah. So, big takeaway again from what you just said. Someone's stepping on your toes too much and asking you for things for free and all that. Just become a jerk like Carlos did and send them to your payment page.
Damn.
And say, look, buy these hours. Get off of it, all right? Just buy the hours.
Rather than being a jerk, I call it keeping sane.
Right. Well.
Yeah, I think we all had some.
There he is. Yeah, I was like, were you interviewing somebody a second ago?
Oh yeah, I had to mute myself. There's people walking by, so.
Okay.
That's what happens when you have a studio in front of everybody.
Yeah, and I know, right? No, and I think
everybody at the BizNest is just watching this go down right now. They're viewing history.
We have a live viewing audience for this podcast, is how I like to put it.
Yeah. Yes, recorded.
It's like the Howard Stern. It's like the
Yeah.
Howard Stern show, you know? Except
yes.
we got Christopher and Carlos, which are much cooler, I think.
Which, yeah, and
but,
not nearly as entertaining or shocking. Just kind of mediocre.
I think we're going to be that entertaining. But no, to kind of tackle on what you guys were saying earlier, and it's an interesting thing I read in like behavioral economics. So there's 2 kinds of norms. There's like a social norm and a market norm, right? And a social norm is like you go to dinner at your mother's house and you have dinner, and then you don't pay your mom at the end of that dinner, right? Because it's kind of like a social thing. She made you dinner and you go there and you eat, and it's a social thing. Now, a market norm would be if you go to dinner and your mom cooks you dinner for the family for Thanksgiving, and after the dinner's over, you go up to her and you say, thanks, Mom, that was a great dinner. Here's $200, right? Or anybody cooks you dinner. It changes the entire environment and relationship from a social interaction to a business interaction. Now, the reason I bring that up is because for freelancers, consultants, digital marketers, especially those starting off, a lot of these relationships, because of the sales cycle, start in the social norm, right? We kind of start as a, hey, how are you doing? Great, et cetera, et cetera. But then when it transitions to a business relationship, some of us, and I know I struggled with this early in my career, I kept that social norm. Hey, can you fix this? Yeah, sure, not a problem, right? Because we view the relationship as kind of like a social interaction, almost like a friendship, if you will. And the issue with that is that you end up doing a whole bunch of free work and you don't get paid for it. So it's very important to be able to distinguish the social side of the business and the actual business side of the business, and to not let the social overtake the business, where you find yourself doing free work just because you like the guy or it's quick, and it kind of just messes you up for that moment and in the future if you don't establish that line in the sand, if you will, early on. So I've struggled with it, and that's my 2 cents.
So Chris, what I'm learning from this, I'm actually glad I have Fernando here. Moving forward, if you need any more help, I need to establish that sand in the line. Eh?
No, line in the sand.
Line in the sand for the norm of the marketing business, social norm.
Social norm, market norms.
Just pay me next time you ask me for help, all right, Christopher?
But keep in mind though, when you switch the relationship from a social to a market, you cannot switch it back from a market to a social. It's a one-way switch for the most part. If you want to read more on this, I recommend you check out Dan Ariely's book, Predictable Irrational, where he talks about this and other crazy psychological.
Okay. Gonna go to my Amazon and create an affiliate link for that. Thank you very much. And
yeah, I'm learning a couple things here. Number one, we could add value to this podcast by bringing on people that know what they're talking about, and suddenly we have a whole different show, because now people are going to actually learn something. So
and we got someone in the background. We have a party in the background going on in Fernando's studio.
Yeah. Just ignore them. The other thing I'm learning is that now I've got to actually pay attention and write this stuff down, because now we need a link to that book in the show notes for sure.
Oh, another job?
Yeah, I know. It's getting complicated. Guests just bring a whole other level of complexity.
Okay, you know what? Bring your own transcriptions. What we're going to start doing. BYOT. Bring your own links, and bring your own transcription, and we'll.
Yeah. It's the show notes. It's the show notes thing. So, what was it? Spyros? What's the nickname?
Spargo. It's Spartan Gomez.
Spargo.
Yeah, Spargo.
Spartan Gomez.
Well, so Fernando. Go ahead.
Clients.
Go ahead, Christopher.
A lot about
go ahead.
clients.
Go ahead. Just go ahead. Just keep talking.
Christopher.
Just keep talking.
And the clients. For the clients. What do you do? What do you
For
do?
clients? Wait, sorry, what was the question again?
Don't worry. He talks a lot, Fernando. No one knows what the heck he's talking about.
No, this is a good question. I just wasn't able to hear it fully because I was moving desks.
You got to tell the listeners what you do for a living. And
okay, yeah. So awesome. Yeah. So what I do for a living is very much in line with Carlos and Christopher, I believe. So I am a digital marketing freelance / consultant. Right now, I am part-time at an agency helping them out with their digital marketing, as well as having my own clients. And so that's pretty much what I do. If I were to give you the 2-sentence speech, I help build digital marketing strategies that work, and I implement them from email to social to paid to funnels. And if I can't do it, then I'll find somebody who can, like Carlos and Christopher.
Fernando, quick question. Without revealing any details, what industry do you specialize in over there? You gotta say it. You gotta tell us. Everyone wants to know.
All right, so check it out. I have one of the most industries I'm most successful in right now is the cannabis, marijuana, and that's just because the industry as a whole is booming. And for marketers, it's a very interesting landscape because you cannot advertise traditionally on Facebook or Google because there's a lot of regulations and rules around the green industry, aka cannabis industry. And so I specialize in that industry and e-commerce.
So you specialize in weed leads. Is that what you're saying?
I specialize in weed sales and growth, not just leads. Yeah.
Weed
leads and growth.
Yeah. I make weed companies get higher in revenue.
So you got hired while you're helping these weed companies get high.
Yeah.
higher
And it's
conversions.
Higher conversions, higher customers, higher everything.
We were talking about weed leads like 2 episodes ago.
No, man. I think
1 episode ago.
Dude, I think like the 2 most booming industries right now is cannabis industry and the cryptocurrency industry.
Yes, sir. I agree. Did I tell you that time where I invested $200 in Bitcoin and now it was at $3,000?
No, but I'm gonna cry if I talk about my Bitcoins.
I got $3,000 sitting in my wallet right now.
Man, did I ever I had 5 Bitcoin. 5. I bought them at $90, right? Like three years ago. And I sold them at $200, thinking I was the smartest, most richest investor in the world. And then just yesterday or the day before, I see that it peaked at 11,000.
11K. Yeah, we're gonna save that for another show. I think this show has gone on long enough. But Fernando, if anyone wants to find you, where can they find you?
You can find me at SpartanGomez.com, Facebook.com/Spartan Gomez, Twitter.com/Spartan Gomez. If you just Google Spartan Gomez, you will find me. Hopefully, let me do that. I don't think I've Googled myself in a while. Hopefully, like one of my video game accounts doesn't show up. And
before I Googled you before when I was like 2 years ago when you did that one video on lead magnets. I want to see if you actually knew what the heck you were talking about. So yeah, you're on the Google for sure.
Yeah, no, and if you Google Spartan Gomez, you can find a whole bunch of stuff. So you know what? Just follow me on Facebook or Twitter, SpartanGomez.com.
I'm following you right now in the office.
Hey, who's this guy behind me?
All right, Chris. I think for now you need to hear the outro to this freaking our new podcast. I mean, it's actually it's a combo between my talent and Christopher's editing abilities, and I think it's gonna take us far.
And I've been following you guys. I'm a big fan. Excited to be on the show. All right. I know, but I do follow you guys in the sense that I see when you guys post on Facebook, and I'm part of the group, so I do.
Like, this guy. We're just posting. Chris, do you have any closing remarks, dude?
I just want to congratulate Fernando for being the first guest and take the action and being a Spartan and running the company and dropping the value here for the first time on the show.
Of course, anytime.
Yeah.
And helping us get on iHeart Radio.
And helping us get on iHeart Radio, because now we're going to qualify. Thank you.
We usually do. All right, that's it. Thank you all, and carry on with your podcast.
Yay.
This is where you hang up, Fernando.
Bidi 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 bidi.